I think we've got a video to watch, and then I'll say a little bit in terms of my own introduction and hand over to Raza. But I think there's a video just to give us a focus. Thank you.
We realize implementation of Goal 8, because it's a very clear, specific target that by 2030 we are supposed to achieve Sustainable Development Goals.
We have decided, in our wisdom, to collapse the 12 aspects of the Global Goal 8 into 4 big ideas. Respecting human rights, global resource efficiency, full and productive employment, sustainable economic development.
Reaching Goal 8 will require the dedication and effort of all local and global leaders, leaders from faith, as we have with us today, governments, businesses, community, and the media.
Media can help accomplish Goal 8 of the Global Sustainability Network. Beautiful. And how music has a greater influence on the heart and soul than any of us may realize. Media can absolutely 100% be used to promote inclusive and sustainable economic growth.
The victims and the youth are the voice of the future. This was a big theme we came up with.
Clearly, as in the case with faith, a central role is raising awareness. Media has to give the voice to the youth and be the voice and give the voice to the people, the victims of slavery, and these voices are the voices that really need to be heard.
To avoid human trafficking, to defend the human dignity, and to act, because the gravity of the situation, we need to arrive to have actions.
We need to be concerned about the dignity of human beings and the dignity of the planet, the well-being of the planet. Modern slavery, as we speak, and as you well know, is an increasing crime and trade. And it's a very profitable business because it's much lower risk business to trade in people than it is in drugs, for instance. We're here to ask the question and help the structures that make society work and that we need to hold us together to help them adjust and push back against the crime and create freedom for brothers and sisters whose dignity is just being eroded and taken away. We're a network of people sharing commitment, sharing ideas, sharing inspiration.
The ultimate solution at the end of all the discussions and when it's all said and done is to affect people's value systems, to expose the evil for what it really is. And this is why it was such a monumental step in the right direction to get faith leaders from around the world to attend the summit at the Vatican and to sign that joint declaration.
We came up with a law and policy on ending modern-day slavery and human trafficking by bringing it within corporate responsibility and corporate governance.
Support the Goal 8 initiatives by developing itself as an even more credible and enabling platform as an endorser of business initiatives and projects, by educating and refining the messaging to the new and existing generation of business leaders and influencers.
I've heard this said over the last 10 years many, many times that the issue of modern-day slavery or the affiliation movement has a branding problem, and I think that's true. It's because lots of ideas continue to pop up. Is there a way where we can come together under one affiliation?
And when we started this conversation on our table, all of us we didn't know each other, but in an hour we are best of friends. So this platform is actually doing this for us. We are all together, we are all becoming aware, we are all learning.
And that's why it is imperative that all key stakeholders in the world should come together and forge strong alliance.
Goal 8 is about economic growth, which is sustainable and inclusive. We need a tide which lifts all ships and ports, large and small. That's what we need, equitable growth.
I am hopeful that the Global Sustainability Network can use this event to identify targets and goals for each sector in 2017 that are attainable and measurable. All of us at Education for Employment look forward to working towards the goals that you determine.
The conclusion for 1 year's work, which started with Monsignor Sanchez, Bishop Alastair, and myself working towards putting a group together, a family of the founders of GSN who are all here in this room, with the objective of coming up with a strategy that encourages collaboration all over the world in 5 different sectors: in faith, government, businesses, community, and media, to work collaboratively to achieve Goal 8 by 2030.
Well, thank you to all who contributed to that story that was captured in the video. And in one sense, that's the platform we need to launch today's discussion. I just want to highlight 2 or 3 things from that story that we need to remind ourselves of as we begin our work today. I hope you all had a good night's sleep last night. And if we sleep well, then we wake up and we face the day. One of the issues that we're facing with slavery and the issue of sustainability is that many people just do not notice that there's an issue. They sleep through the day, in a way, and they don't notice. And the challenge to people like us is that we've begun to notice, and we know other people need to notice, and we know that when we do notice, our hearts are stirred, values emerge that we can share, and we want to push back against this criminal abuse of human beings and of the planet. But the significance of this meeting is that everybody in this room has learnt to begin to notice, not just through our own personal lives and eyes, but because we're connected with systems and structures and levers that can help organisations notice, businesses notice, all kinds of things that make the world work and shape the world for people. Many of us in this room are privileged to be in a place where we can help those perspectives open their eyes, wake up, and then take appropriate action, whether it's in the movies, in the media, through government legislation, whatever it is. That's our challenge. And I want to really emphasize what an urgent challenge it is. We all know at this very moment in the world, we live in the paradox where the mantra about human rights gets louder and louder and louder. And at the same time, more and more people suffer from inequality, poverty, marginalization, slavery, and damage to the planet. There's a real disconnect between talking the talk and actually making a difference in real time through real structures and the real shaping of organizations and their values. We need to look together at what perspectives we can bring to help the structures of society in which we're connected, the sectors in which we're working, notice and then begin to respond creatively. And that's what some of the projects are doing. They're about creative response. We're going to hear some of that today. As Bishop Sanchez says, what holds us is a friendship around these common values of opening our eyes and wanting to respond for our brothers and sisters and for the planet. That friendship leads to partnerships, and we want to look today at how those partnerships can be manifest in different countries and through the different sectors becoming refined and getting some real purchase on some action. But as we begin to do that, and as more and more people get involved, then the model of friendship will spread, and I hope it'll be replicated in many places. But we will, as we become a more public-facing body, need to see how that is held together and how it's connected so that there's still a common vision and a connectivity where we can learn from each other, support each other, and make sure the levers that we learn to pull and put pressure through are coordinated. And my last point is that the document you can see that was signed by the faith leaders on December the 2nd in 2014. CNN were here covering the event, and their reporter said that the faith who signed that book represented nearly 95% of the world's population. So there's an amazing purchase through this faith connection, but all our faiths need the wisdom and expertise of people like yourselves who are in these various sectors through which the world works, and where we need to open people's eyes, surface values, and discern practical ways of operating. And I hope today we're going to take that forward structurally, organisationally, and through practical schemes. Thank you.